नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि 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 नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि
हरि
नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के हम है रमण बिहारी के ठाकुर हमारे रे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा कामन दुनियादारी से कामन दुनियादारी से कामन दुनियादारी से कामन दुनियादारी से
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी की
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी की
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा
कामन दुनियादारी से
कामन दुनियादारी से
कामन दुनियादारी से
कामन दुनियादारी से
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी की
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी की
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी हम है रमण बिहारी की
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीसति लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत।
Jai Shri Krishna. On behalf of Geeta Pariwar, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all dear Geeta Sadhak who are gathered here on Zoom platform to attend today's Vivechan session on chapter 11. Together, we all started this journey of understanding the divine Vishwaroop Darshan Yoga, and now we have completed 3 parts, immersing ourselves into the blissful universal form of Yogeshwar Shri Krishna. And today's Vivechan session will be the finale. We learned in the last session how Shri Krishna declares himself to be the destroyer of all unrighteous warriors standing in the battlefield, and how they are already slain by Krishna himself. Shri Krishna asks Arjuna to just become Nimit Matra and conquer his foes. We all are highly blessed and fortunate that through a set of Vivechan sessions, we are able to witness the vivid imagery of this wonderful session. Without the grace of Almighty, nothing can be accomplished. Thus, to invoke the blessings of the Lord, I kindly invite Dr. Hema Saxena Didi to lead us in the prayer. Didi is currently residing in Canada and has joined Geeta Pariwar in November 2023. Didi is currently in level 4 and is also giving seva as a technical assistant and serving as a group coordinator in level 4. Didi, please proceed with the prayer.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri
Vasudev Sutan Devam Kaunsa Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Didi, for the beautiful prayer. No auspicious occasion is considered complete without the lamp lighting. It symbolizes our journey from darkness towards enlightenment. For Deep Prajwalan, I would kindly call upon Sri Lakshmi Goyal Didi ji. Didi ji is from Rajasthan and has joined Geeta Pariwar in September 2024. Didi is currently in level 3 and is also providing seva as technical assistant in level 2 and as a group coordinator in level 1. Didi, I kindly request you to please light the lamp on behalf of all of us. Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Didi, for taking us all into your divine altar for Deep Prajwalan. Now, Before we proceed with the Vivechan session, there are a couple of exciting announcements. As many of you may already know, that our dear Geeta Pariwar Sevis and Sadhaks are at Prayagraj giving Geeta Prachar Seva at Mahakumbh. I bow down to their selfless service and efforts to spread the message of Sri Krishna. The Sevis will continue to give this Seva till 12th February. All the devotees who wish to join the Geeta Parivar and be a part of this once in a lifetime Seva, please come forward and fill the volunteer forms as soon as possible. And also, our new level 1 batch is going to start from 21st February. So all of you are kindly requested to circulate this message among your family and friends and give them the divine gift of Geeta. Now, I'm highly honored to invite our great Vivechak, Sri Vikasji Vaidya Bhayaji. Bhayaji has bestowed upon us the valuable knowledge of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. Bhayaji imparts unique perspective and guides us through his innumerable commentaries. Bhayaji has a bachelorate degree in mechanical engineering and runs an IT firm in Pune. Bhayaji has traveled across the world and is proficient in 6 languages. There is an incredible thing which Bhayaji is doing daily. It is part of his daily routine. Bhayaji recites all 18 adhyayas of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā daily without a miss. Apart from this personal sadhana, Bhayaji is also serving as a senior trainer in Geeta Pariwar and is involved in the process of training new trainers. Bhayaji is also involved in teaching and Vivechan of Vishnu Sahasranam as a member of Pune Geeta Pariwar. Bhayaji guides Geeta Vratis to prepare for Shringuri Peeth Geeta exam. Bhayaji has given Geeta Kanthasth exam at Shringuri Peeth and received first prize from the hands of Param Pujya Jagat Guru Sri Shankaracharya Ji. Now, I humbly request Vikas Bhayaji to kindly take us all through the final shlokas of Vishwarup Darshan Yog, where Sri Arjuna praises Sri Krishna for his good fortune and to be able to see the cosmic form of the Lord. Bhayaji, I kindly request you to start the session now.
जय श्री कृष्ण। पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन। A warm welcome to all the Gita sadhaks. We are discussing Adhyay 11, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. Last time we had covered up to shlok number 43. In 43rd shloka, Arjuna had said, Pitasi lokasya characharasya tamasya pujyasya gurur garyan tatvat samostya vidhika kutonyo lokatrepe pratima prabhava. You are the father of this complete cosmos, complete universe, manifestation of the moving and non-moving. You are the greatest among worshipables. You are the supreme master, supreme spiritual master. No one is even equal to you. So how can there be anyone better than you? But we discussed that this question itself is maybe logically not so right, because there is nothing outside Paramatma. When every part of cosmos is in that cosmic form of Paramatma, how can there be anything outside God? So there is no question of anyone getting better than him or equal to him also. But anyway, Arjuna is very overwhelmed and he asked this question. And further he says, Shlok number 44, Tasmat pranamya pranidaya kayam prasadayetva mahamisha medyam piteva putrasya sakheva sakhya priyah priyayarhasideva sodhum. Tasmat, therefore, pranamya, offering namaskaram, obeisances, pranidhaya, laying down, sahtang, kaya, kaya is the body, prasade, to beg mercy, tvam, you, aham, I, isham, to the Supreme Lord, idyam, idyam is the worshipable, pita eva, like father, putrasya, with son, sakha eva, like a friend, sakhyo, with a friend, priya, the lover or say husband, priyayaha, with the dearmost, wife or lover, whatever meaning you want to take, arhasi, you should, deva, my lord, sodhum, tolerate, sodhum is tolerate. So Arjuna is pleading, saying that you are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances. Namaskaram, Dandavat, ask for your mercy. As a father tolerates the errors, the impudence of his son, a friend, the impenitence of a friend, or the husband tolerates insults done to him by his wife, sometimes, please tolerate the errors, the mistakes of behavior which I might have done to you. Tasmat pranama pradayakayam prasadayetvam amisha vidyam iteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo priya priyayarasi devasodam. So Lord, going deeply and prostrating is Sashtang Dandavat. Lying down flat on the ground and facing downward, that is Sashtang Dandavat, prostrating. I implore you to forgive me. Bear with me, O Lord, as a father with son, as a friend with a friend, or as a lover with his beloved, and forgive my faults. He is pleading. Considering his behavior as transgressions towards Lord, Arjuna is asking for pardon. I called you, hey Krishna, hey Yadav, hey Sakhidi, all sorts of things. While interacting with Shri Krishna, while playing with him, eating with him, jesting with him, talking to him, and resting with him, he did not show the respect that is appropriate towards the Supreme Almighty. However, no one minds the transgressions when they are made because of high level of intimacy. The intimacy shared with other person. No government official has the privilege to joke with the president of the country, isn't it? You cannot crack a joke with your president if you are working in his office. Yet the president's personal friend, he teases him. अरे क्या president हो गया तो बहुत बड़ा हो गया, हमसे बात नहीं करेगा, will you not talk to me? He may joke with him. He jests with him and even yells at him sometimes. The president does not mind it at all. Rather, he values this jest of a close friend more than the respect that he receives from his subordinate officers. That is the magic of intimacy. Thousands of people salute an army general, but they are not as dear to his heart as his wife, who is sitting intimately just next to him. When a parade takes place, the wife is sitting by the side of general. All people are coming and saluting the general. They are offering their respects to him. But his intimacy is with his wife, who is sitting just next to him, not saluting him at all. Similarly, Arjuna's intimate moment with Shri Krishna were not transgressions. He misunderstood that I have transgressed myself. They were expressions of depth of his loving devotion, nurtured by the sentiments of being a friend. A devotee is humble by nature. Consequently, out of humanity, he feels that he may have committed transgressions and is asking for forgiveness. So obviously there could not have been any serious lapse on the part of Arjuna, for which he should have had to beg Lord's pardon again and again, forgiveness again and again. But it is the divine power of the God which is so immeasurably vast that on knowing it, even a Rajarshi like Arjuna was reduced to insignificance like a dwarf and could not resist the spontaneity to offer Dandavat Sashtang Namaskar, prostrate, and seek pardon again and again, to absolve himself for the assumed mistakes what he has done. In fact, the gravitative grace of Lord Krishna was always so intense that seeing it, every devotee lost control over himself. Krishna is like that, right from his childhood. In Krishna's childhood, the gopis of Vrindavan were always mad to have a mere glimpse of him, a glimpse of his presence. In this world, there are mainly three relationships in which a person can take liberties in good faith with the objects of his liking and love. Which are those? Son-father relationship, husband-wife relationship, and friend-and-friend relationship. That is why these three instances are quoted here by Arjuna. Pitasi lokasya characharasya, and then after that this. Tasmat pradayakayam prasadayet vamisha vidyam piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo priya priyarasya devasodam. In simple sweet words of a child, Arjuna goes on asking the Lord to forgive his lapses, you are my father. Does not a father forgive his son's mistakes? Today also we see in our day-to-day life. The young son, he understands much more about the mobile, the laptop, the computer than his father. So father, when he is asking some question about mobile or about PC or about laptop, the son may inadvertently insult him, saying that, what is this? You don't know even these simple things. Why don't you read some book and find out what is this? You should understand this, Papa. This is the new age now. You should keep update with everything that is happening now around you. He may say this in front of his friends as well, or in front of some other relatives as well. But the father ignores it, saying that, okay, he may say these words to me. It's okay. He is my son ultimately, so I pardon him for that. The wife insults his husband on many occasions. There is a wishy kitty party at home. Many lady friends of that your wife has have come to your house for enjoying that kitty party. Among friends, when your wife is sitting, she may use some loose words against the husband. इनको कुछ आता ही नहीं है. He doesn't understand simple things. Let me ask him to make tea for all of us. Okay, fine. But the husband ignores all that, saying that, okay, it is my dear wife. She may use these words sometimes when she is with her friends. I pardon her for that. I don't take it as an insult. So these are the relationships wherein these are not considered as transgressions. They are coming out of intimacy, deep intimacy. So that's why Arjuna is pleading with Lord Shri Krishna that, like you are my father, so does not a father forgive his child when he makes a mistake? It is a beautiful example of the parent-child relationship which each of us can have with the Lord. Paramatma, I am your child. Please forgive me for the mistakes, for the errors that I have committed thus far in my life. So if we can establish this relationship with the God, that father and son relationship, then that intimacy gets developed automatically. We get so much close to the God that he is my father. That does not mean we should keep on making mistakes, of course. But at least that kind of confidence comes to us. That if I make a mistake, he is my father. He will understand. I will seek his forgiveness and he will forgive me. I will not make the mistakes deliberately, but sometimes inadvertently something may happen for which my God, my Father is with me. So this is the relationship where Arjuna is telling us to have with the Lord, Father and Son. Okay, we go to next shloka now, shloka 45. Adrushtapuram rishitospi drashtva bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me tadeva vedarshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa. Adrushtapuram, never seen before. Drushta is to see. Adrushtapuram, purvam, never seen before. Rishita, glad and pleased. Asmi, I am. Drashta, by seeing. Bhayena, out of fear. Pravyathitam, perturbed, disturbed. Mana, mind. May, my. Tata, that. Iva, certainly, definitely. May, to me. Darshaya, show. Deva, O Lord. Rupam, the form. Prasida, just be gracious, be pleased. Devesha, Eva Isha, Lord of gods. Jagan Nivasa, O refuge of the universe. So Arjuna says, after seeing this universal form of yours, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your softer, earlier form, O Lord of Lords, the abode of universe. So I rejoice in seeing you in the form which has never been seen before. Yet, I am filled with fear by this vision of yours. You, the abode of universe, please be gracious and let me see you in your pleasing form, earlier pleasing form, O shining God of gods. This is the word-to-word meaning. Now there are two kinds of bhaktis. A devotee can offer two types of bhaktis to his Lord. One is called Aishwarya Bhakti and second is Madhurya Bhakti. Aishwarya Bhakti is that where the devotee, he is motivated to engage in devotion by contemplating, by doing manan chintan upon his almighty aspect of the God. That God is almighty. He is omniscient, he is omnipresent, he is omnipotent, he is almighty. That is the aspect of God which he concentrates on. In such devotion, the feelings of remoteness from God and the need for maintaining the propriety of conduct is always perceived. Examples of Ashir Bhakti are the residents of Dwarka, Ayodhya, who worshipped Shri Krishna and who worshipped Shri Ram as their kings. Krishna was the king of Dwarka, Shri Ram was the king of Ayodhya. So ordinary citizens are highly respectful and obedient towards their kings, although they never feel the intimacy. Respect, honor, yes. Devotion, yes. But personal intimacy, they don't have. While Madhurya Bhakti is that in which the devotee feels an intimate personal relationship with his God. The dominant sentiment in this relationship of Madhurya Bhakti is that Shri Krishna is mine and I am his. Full stop. Shri Krishna is mine and I am his. Examples of Madhurya Bhakti are the cowherd boys of Vrindavan who loved Krishna as their friend, as their buddy. Yashoda and Nand who loved Krishna as their child, dear child. And the gopis who loved him as their beloved. Madhurya Bhakti is infinitely times sweeter than the Aishwarya Bhakti. Hence, Kripalji Maharaj has said at one place, Sabai Sarasa Rasa Dwarika, Mathura Aru Braja Mahina, Mathura Madhura Tara Madhura Tama Rasa Braja Rasa Sama Nahi. The divine bliss of God is immensely sweet in all his forms. All his forms. Yet, there is a gradation in it. The bliss of Dwarka form is sweet. The bliss of Mathura form is sweeter. And the bliss of his Braj form is the sweetest. In Madhurya Bhakti, forgetting the almightiness of the God, the devotees establishes 4 types of relationship with Krishna. One is Dasya Bhav. Shri Krishna is my master and I am his servant. I don't know anything else. The devotion of Krishna's personal servant, such as say during his lifetime, Raktak or Patrak and some others, they were in Dasya Bhav. Arjuna himself was in Dasya Bhav with Krishna. The sentiment that God is my father or mother is a variation of this Dasya Bhav only and is included in this Dasya Bhav. So Yashoda and Nanda are also included in this Bhav. Second is Sakhya Bhav. Shri Krishna is my friend and I am his intimate companion. The devotion of cowherd boys of Vrindavan, such as Shri Madha, Madhumangal, Ghanasukha, Manasukha, and many others, they had this Sakhya Bhav for Shri Krishna. Arjuna had a Sakhya Bhav, we all know that. Then third is Vatsalya Bhav. Shri Krishna is my child and I am his parents. The devotion of Yashoda and Nanda and even Dasharatha was to some extent in this Vatsalya Bhav only, because Krishna was the son of Yashoda and Nanda and Shri Ramji was the son of Dasharatha. So the relationship was that Vatsalya Bhav. Madhurya Bhav. Fourth is Madhurya Bhav. Shri Krishna is our beloved and I am his lover. The devotion of gopis of Vrindavan or even Meera was in this Madhurya class. Arjuna is in Sakhya Bhav, is a Sakhya devotee of Lord Krishna and relishes the fraternal relationship with the Lord. On seeing the universal form of God, Arjuna experienced the tremendous awe and reverence. Yet he longed for the sweetness of Sakhya Bhav that he was used to have. Hence he prays to Shri Krishna to hide that almighty form that he is now seeing and again show his human form. So as to he can re-establish that Sakhya Bhav. He is not able to establish the Sakhya Bhav with this cosmic form of Paramatma, with chewing all the warriors in his mouth and all sorts of things, what we have discussed. So he is not able to establish that kind of Sakhya Bhav with this Virat Roop. He wants Sri Krishna to come back to that human form so that he can re-establish that Sakhya Bhav, which he likes the most. Our scriptures say that fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We need to be very, very vigilant about not causing distress to any other creature, because the eyes of Lord are always right there watching us at all times, 24/7. Even when we are alone, we have not succeeded in escaping those watchful eyes of the God. Because Lord is there in us also, no? Mamai Mausho, his Amsho is there in us. He is watching us all the time. Even if we are sleeping, he is awake. He never sleeps. As Geeta says, he is our real self. Even when our little self is sleeping, the seeing eye of the God is watching all our thoughts, all our dreams, because he never sleeps. In Gita, we call him Sakshi, a witness, Upadrashta. In 13th Adhyay, Upadrashta Namantacha Bharta Bhakta Maheshwara Paramatmati Japito Dehesmin Purushapara. So he is Maheshwar in us. He starts from witness, Upadrashta. Once we begin to realize this, then we become extremely alert about everything what we say, what we do, what we conduct, and every aspect of our behavior. When we are understanding this concept that God's watchful eyes are seeing me at all times. In this context, it is said that the tongue, our tongue, should have 3 gatekeepers. When the words arise in our mind, the first gatekeeper asks, is it true? Before you open the mouth to speak the words, the first gatekeeper, he asks, is it true? What you are going to speak, is it true? Now this stops a lot of traffic immediately, because a lot of false things, untrue things are spoken by us at many times. So this first gatekeeper, he stops that traffic immediately. But if the words pass through that first gatekeeper, the second gatekeeper, he asks, is this kind? And for those words that qualify here also, the last gatekeeper asks, is it necessary? So first question was, is it true? Second was, is it kind? And third was, is it necessary? Now, most of us, if all these three gatekeepers are awake at all times, would find very little to speak then, because one or the other gatekeeper will stop it. Is it necessary? Anything unnecessary things we keep talking, no? So third gatekeeper will stop. Whatever has come through gate number 1 and 2, the third gatekeeper will stop. Not necessary, don't speak. Keep quiet. But here personally I think, it is necessary to make some exemption. In the interest of good company, and let the third gatekeeper look the other way. Now and then. After all, a certain amount of pleasant conversation is a part of our art of living. Some pleasant conversation is required. It may be necessary or it may not be necessary. Necessity is not the requirement for which you always speak. We should be interested in knowing what he or she is thinking and has to say about something. And unless you speak and ask, how can we know? If we strictly follow all the 3 gatekeepers, we'll spend most of our life keeping silence only, and will not contribute much in knowing or seeing the Lord in those around us. But it is necessary to keep and follow the first 2 gatekeepers. Is it true and is it kind? Not indulging in gossip of any kind, not speaking the ill of anyone. If we can learn to be watchful like this about what we say or what we do, we are well on the way towards identifying ourselves with our true self, that is the God within us. If you allow these 2 gatekeepers to work, even then it is okay. Third gatekeeper, okay, ignore him for the time being. Is it necessary? So that gatekeeper can keep quiet for the time being. Now, how much we can bring this in our day-to-day life is a matter of practicing and experiencing it. Further, Shlok 46. Kireetananga dinai chakrahastam ichhamitvan drashtumaham tataivo तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते. Kiritanam. Kirit is the mukut. Arjuna says Kiritanam with mukut, crown. Gadinam with gada, the club, mace. Chakrahastam, chakra, the disc in the hand. Ichhami, I wish. Tvam, you. Drashtum, drashtum is to see. Aham, I. Tatha eva, in that position. Tena eva, in that. Rupena, form. Chaturbhujena, four-handed, four-armed. Sahasrabaho, 4,000 armed one. Bhava, just come. Vishwamurte, the universal form. So Arjuna is pleading, O Virat Rup, O Vishweshwar, O Vishwarup, O thousand armed Shri Krishna, Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form. With a crown on your head, mukut on your head, with a gada in hand, the chakra, shankha, and lotus flower in your hand. So Vishnu Rup I want to see. I long to see that. I long to see you in that form again. Now, since this is Vishwarup, it is to be understood, though it is not explicitly said here, that God is holding the Shankha, conch, and the lotus in his two arms. By special grace, Arjuna has been shown the cosmic form that is not easily seen by anyone. Arjuna has realized that Sri Krishna is much more than merely his friend. His divine personality encompasses unlimited universes. Yet he is not attracted by infinite opulences and is not interested in doing Aishwarya Bhakti. Arjuna knows this. But still he is not interested in doing Aishwarya Bhakti. He doesn't want to love that aspect of God which is almighty aspect. In Aishwarya Bhakti we discussed just now that almightiness of the God is the only thing on which the devotees focus. Rather, Arjuna prefers seeing that Almighty in human form. God, you are Almighty, but I want to see you in your human form. So that he can relate to him as before, as a friend, as a buddy. Addressing the Lord as Sahasrabaho means 1,000 one. Arjuna is now specifically requesting to see the Chaturbaho, the four-armed form of the Lord Krishna. The grace and charm of the earlier divine form of the God, supporting crown on his head and bearing gada and chakra, mace and disc, is an endless spell of beauty and splendor. You see Bhagavan Vishnu's photo and then close your eyes. You will have this feeling. Eyes want to see more and more of this immensely attractive divine marvel of Lord Vishnu. But here, Lord Vishnu is Lord Krishna only. Gopis were also immensely delighted victim of his divine attraction. Attraction of this child, Krishna. His mother Yashoda, no wonder, was crazy to see the expanding universe in the divine mouth of her little son. And Yashoda saw the Vishwarup in Krishna's little mouth. Next, Paramatma Arjuna says, Kiritinam gadine chakrastam ichchamitvam drashtuman tathaiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurti. Now Paramatma says, Arjuna was pleading all this because he was under the impression that God is very angry. Maybe I have committed a lot of mistakes in my life and God is very angry with me. So that's why I am seeing this horrible, terrible, fearful form of my God, my friend Krishna. Paramatma is now replying in Slok 47. Maya prasannena tavarjunedam rupam parandarshitam yogad tejo mayam vishwamanantamadni yanme tvadannena nadrashta purvam. Arjuna, I am not angry with you. Who said I am angry with you? Maya prasannena. Maya, by me, prasannena, happily. Tava, to you. Idam, this means this cosmic form. Rupam, form. Param, supreme, transcendental. Darshitam, shown. Atma yogat, by my internal potency, by my yogic power. Tejamayam, full of effulgence, full of radiance. Vishwam, the entire universe. Anantam, unlimited. Adyam, the original. Yat, that which me, tvad annena, besides you, na drashtapurvam. No one has seen previously. So my dear friend Arjuna, I have shown you happily with my internal potency, this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glazing effulgence, full of radiance. Maya prasannena tavarjunitam rupam param darshitmatma yoga tejomayam vishwarantamadne yanmet tadanyena dashtapurvam. See in slok 31, which we have read, Akhyahi meko bhavan guru rupo namaste deva prasida Vidyatam ichchayam bhavantamadya nahi prajanami tva pravrutim. Arjuna had asked Lord Krishna who he was in such a fearful form. And Lord Krishna had replied, Kalos me logo kshay kripurgo. Shri Krishna replied that he was the almighty world destroying Kal, then engaged in wiping out the world. Hearing this reply and beholding the Lord's terrible cosmic form, Arjuna thought that the Lord is very, very angry. So Arjuna prayed to him again and again to be pleased with him. Prasida, prasida, prasida. The Lord in the next shloka comments in order to remove Arjuna's disconception. This shloka. Paramatma says, Maya prasannena tavarjunetam. So Arjuna, why are you afraid? Being pleased with you graciously, I have shown you through my yogic power this supreme, shining, primal and infinite universal form, which none other than you has seen before. Arjuna could not have seen this Vishwarup and Vishnurup of the God, but for God's love and grace. Arjuna was Rajashri, a devout devotee of the God. It is for this reason that the God gifted him with the divine eyes, the divine sight. And we discussed already, it is not only divine eyes, it is the divine mind and divine intellect as well. Eyes can only see, but the analysis is done by the mind and the intellect. When Paramatma imparted him divine eyes, it was accompanied by divine mind and divine intellect as well. Not the eyes alone, but the whole being of Arjuna, his mind and intellect have been transformed and uplifted by the God. So along with his Charma Chakshu, Divya Chakshu, he is God, and he got Divya mind and he got Divya intellect as well to enable him to see the divine form. Eyes merely being an instrument of mind, they are the instrument of mind. It is the mind that thinks and then operates. So in isolation of mind and intellect, Arjuna could not have seen this. Eyes may have seen, but Arjuna could not have understood what exactly he is saying. That analysis is done by the mind and the intellect. Maya prasannena tavarjunetam. Maya prasannena tavarjunetam rupam drashtam. So Arjuna, you are time and again saying, be kind to me, mercy, mercy, mercy. But I have neither revealed this terrible form out of anger to frighten you, but because of your qualification, you deserve. Your deserving nature, your devotion, and your desire to behold my universal form. You requested me, no? That if I am capable, if I deserve, then please show me your cosmic form. So I know you are deserving. You are able to see this. That's why I have shown you. Not that I am angry with you. You desire to behold my divine universal form, and that's why I, by my grace, bestowed upon these divine eyes to have the vision of this form. So it means that it was not only out of compassion that being pleased with you, that I enable you to behold my cosmic form. You are my devotee. I like your devotion and you are capable. You deserve it. All this shows that the Lord is much more than gracious than the striver regards him to be. His grace is infinite. While a man's power to admit his grace is limited, our intellect is limited. God's grace is infinite. Generally, a devotee, a striver, in favorable circumstances, when he gets good results of his karma, he thinks that the Lord is pleased with me. Very good. I did this and the God gave me the reward. I am very happy. God is with me. And he becomes very pleased. But in fact, rather the fact is that the Lord showers his grace equally on the striver in favorable as well as in unfavorable circumstances as well. When the unfavorable situation comes, some devotees may think, oh my God, God is very angry with me. To remove that doubt, God is saying this, Maya Prasannena Tavarjanidam. This is applicable for us also. When a calamity comes or when unfavorable situation comes in our life, never think God is angry with us. God is never angry. He is doing a favor to us by bringing into that situation so that we can learn something out of it, or rather, we are clearing our balance sheet of our past karmas. So, whether we are facing favorable situation or unfavorable situation, God's grace is always there. It is the limited understanding of the man which makes him to think so, that God is angry with me, God is happy with me, God is angry with me, God is happy with me. God is always happy. God is always showering His grace on us. There is the confidence we all should have. Then we can very confidently face all favorable and unfavorable situations in our lives. Further, Slok 48. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्न चक्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहन्नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर. Kuru Pravira Arjuna. Best of Kurus, Kuru warriors. So now means never. Veda Yajna. By performing Yajna. Adhyanam, the study of Vedas. Dana, by doing charity. Kriyabhi, that means by performing some other sattvic activities, sattvic karmas. Tapobhi, by doing some tapas, penances. Ugraha, Ugra is severe. Tapas severe, no? We see in Kumbh Mela, a lot of people, the Naga sadhus, some sadhus standing on one leg for last 10 years or 12 years. So this kind of tapa ugra, evam rupa, in this form, shakya, can, aham, I, nuraloke, in this material world, drashtum, by seeing, tvata, then you, anyena, by other, Kuru Pravira is calling for Arjuna. So Paramatma says, now in this look, Lord explains that besides His grace, there is no other means to have the vision of His cosmic form. O best of Kuru warriors, Kuru Pravira, no one other than you can ever see my universal form. For neither by study of Vedas, na Veda Yajna, nor by performing yajnas, nor by doing some charities, nor by conducting some pious activities, or by severe tapas, severe austerities, can I be seen thus in this material world. Nothing can help you. No Veda Adhyayan, no charity, no pious activities, no austerities, nothing can help you to see this cosmic form of mine, which you have seen. Lord says, Arjuna, only you have been blessed to see my Vishwarup form. For any being of the world, it is impossible to see the divine cosmic form of the God. No known spiritual paths such as yoga, tapa, austerity, charity, study of Vedas, scripture study, that means Jnana, nothing can help to see the God in this form. God showered His mercy on Arjuna because he had unconditionally surrendered himself to the God. How many of us have unconditionally surrendered to the God? And Arjuna had sought God's guidance and direction not for any personal or selfish motive, but to know the best way to be adopted for God realization, moksha. The other person who shared the grace of God to see His divine form was Sanjay. He was given that Divi Drishti by Maharishi Vedas. Arjuna, you alone can see my universal form. Lord says to Arjuna, this is good in a way. Because He has shown this form only to Arjuna, it is good for us in a way. Why? After all, how many of us would like to see such a terrifying, ferocious, fierce form of Lord Krishna? We are used to seeing Lord Krishna with a flute in his hand, with a smile on his face, with a crown on his head, with a pleasant expression on his face. If you see this form of Krishna, when he is chewing warriors in his mouth, the mouth are emitting fire, he is chewing those warriors, and Lili Segrasa Manas Samanda, Lokan Samgaran Budane Juladbhi, in his fire emitting mouth, he is pushing his warriors in his mouth and chewing them, many of them getting stuck in his teeth. He is pushing them back in the mouth. Can we see this form? So how many of us are really prepared to see that cosmic form which Arjuna saw? Even if Lord offers to us, we'll after a second may say, Lord, enough is enough. I want to see your two-armed form of Krishna, which I like most. I can no longer see this cosmic form. This is terrible, terrifying, fierce. I cannot see this form. This form of Dashtra Karalani Bhayanakani, Kechidu Lagna, Dashanandarshu, Sandur Shante, Churna Teratta Mangai, I cannot see. I want to see your smiling face, the crown on your head, the flute in your hand. That form I like most. You may plead to the God, oh, stop it. God, stop it. I cannot see this form. When Sant Kabir, he was asked about God. What is God? What is your God? Kabir would say that what his God was not. Rest everything is God. The one who is sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest, who is sometimes born and subject to death, he cannot be my beloved Lord. So this is the way to define the God. Now see, there are say 108 Upanishads, which are considered to be an ocean of Vedantic knowledge. And you will be surprised to know that none of these 108 Upanishads mention an individual person called Vishnu. None of the Upanishads define what is Vishnu. There is no mention of Krishna. There is no mention of God adorned by a crown, with mace in his hand, a chakra in his hand, discuss. It gives bare reality, the naked truth, the core essence, the tattva form of God. It does not describe any individual. That is what Upanishads reveal. And see, Vedas existed for last 80,000 years. Well, Sri Krishna was there only 5,500 years back. So Vedas can explain about Sri Krishna. Not possible, no? Sri Krishna is a recent phenomenon. Then the question may come up. What is going on in Bhagavad Gita then? Why is Sri Krishna saying all this instead? That is his divine play, his Leela. Krishna knows what is said in Vedas 80,000 years back. He is Paramatma after all. He created Vedas, he created Brahmadeva. The form of Krishna that we understand as form of Krishna as 5,500 years back is not true. He is in existence, Anadi, eternal. And that is the uniqueness of Krishna, that he wholeheartedly accepts every game, embraces every bit of drama, and performs it impeccably. That is Lord Krishna. A saint has said, Lord, if I love you out of fear, of hell, because I am afraid of hell, so that's why I love you. So Lord, if I love you out of fear of hell, throw me in the hell. Throw me in the hell. If I love you for the sake of heaven, close the gates of heaven for me. But if I love for the sake of loving you, do not deny yourself to me. So the love for God should be for loving the God, not for the attraction of heaven or not for the fear of hell. When we can say this in our life, that God, if I love you out of fear of hell, throw me in the hell, can we utter these words? We are afraid that God will really throw us in the hell. Or can we say, if I love you for the sake of heaven, then close the gate of heaven for me? We'll think God will really close the gates of heaven for us. But let us remember this line, if I love for the sake of loving you, do not deny yourself to me. At least these two lines we can remember. So when we can say this in our life, it will only be a matter of time then before we will be united with the Lord in the form that we like the most. Somebody likes the form of Sri Krishna, somebody likes the form of Shri Ram, somebody loves the form of Shiva. So whatever form of Lord you like, you will get united with that form of God. If we have the courage to say this. The question is, are we mentally so grown? Are we mentally and intellectually ready to say this consciously? And from things around us, are we learning this technique of learning from every small bit around us in our life? God is constantly teaching us something. It is our incapability not to learn from that. Do we have that quality of constantly learning and improving ourselves? Take, for example, the pencil with which we write. What can we possibly learn from the pencil? Small story. Once upon a time, a boy was watching his grandmother writing a letter with the pencil and on the paper. Curious, he asked his grandmother, "Granny, what are you writing? Is it something interesting? Are you writing about me?" The grandmother stopped writing and turning to her grandson, she said, "Of course, I am writing about you, my dear. But more important than that words, what I am writing with this pencil that I am using is more important than the words that I am writing. I hope you grow up implementing the lessons that we can learn from this pencil." The boy was surprised. Learning from pencil? What is this? So he ran to his grandmother, and after having a close inspection of the pencil, he said, "Lessons from the pencil, grandma? But it does not seem anything special about this pencil. What can we learn from the pencil? It is used for writing, that's all. So what can we learn from the pencil?" Granny replied, "Dear, that depends on how you see the things. This pencil has 7 qualities which you can learn. 7 qualities. If you can manage to incorporate these 7 qualities in your life, it will make you a wonderful person who is always at peace with himself and the situations around him." Let me explain, the grandmother said, on listing the 7 qualities of the pencil from which we can learn. Quality number 1. Just like this pencil, we are all capable of doing great things in life. Pencil can write hundreds and thousands of pages. It can do a great job. All of us are capable of doing a great job in our life. But we must not forget that there is a hand backing us all the time. If the hand is not holding the pencil cannot do anything. The hand that gets things from us done is the God. So we call that hand in our life as the God who is always there working in the background, helping us to navigate in this life. This is the quality number 1 which we can learn from the pencil. Quality number 2. From time to time, we have to sharpen the tip of the pencil, isn't it? It becomes blunt sometimes, so you have to sharpen it with the sharpener. It hurts the pencil a bit at first, but later it works more efficiently. Similarly, tough times prepare us to face bigger challenges in our life. They are like sharpening our intellect, our mind, our antakaran. We feel painful when that sharpening is done, but it plays an important role in our inner development and helps us to become a better human being. So this is the quality number 2 of pencil which we can learn from. Quality number 3, a pencil gives us a chance to rectify our mistakes. We can always use an eraser to rectify our mistake. If you write making some mistake by writing on the paper, you take eraser and erase it and write the new word, isn't it? Making mistakes is not a bad thing. But more important is to rectify our mistakes and never repeat the mistake again in our life. Rather, learn from the mistakes and move forward. Don't keep worrying, I made a mistake, mistake everybody makes. Erase your mistake with the eraser and move on. So this is something which you can learn from the pencil, quality number 3. Quality number 4. It hardly matters how great a pencil looks from the outside. It may be very colorful, multicolor, whatever. If the graphite inside does not write, then whatever external appearance of pencil is there is of no use, isn't it? Likewise, our outer appearance is not our real identity. Our real identity depends on our inner appearance. How we are from the inside is human. Inner beauty always reigns supreme, not outside. So this is lesson number 4. Quality number 5 of the pencil. A pencil writes and leaves a mark behind that is capable of inspiring millions of people and changing their lives. Likewise, the choices we make in our life leave some marks behind. reflecting our life journey. We leave our marks in the form of our thoughts and our actions. They define who we truly are. So let us leave some mark before we exit from this world. Leave these marks of our thoughts and our actions. This is the lesson number 5, quality number 5 of the pencil. Quality number 6, a pencil gets shorter and shorter with every use. And so does our life. Every passing moment is taking us towards the death. So life is getting short and short, isn't it? Why not to make most of it while we still have the time? Why not chase our true purpose of the life of attaining God? We have got the choice. So this is the lesson number 6, that our life is getting shorter and shorter with every passing moment. So why not to make most of it while we still have the time? And quality number 7, finally 7, quality number 7 of the pencil would be, it writes till the end of its life. The pencil finishes one day, but the work it leaves, it remains. The work it leaves behind, it remains and stays forever. So these are the 7 qualities of pencil which we can inculcate in our life. We'll be definitely a changed person, isn't it? So every small thing around us can teach us lessons. It is for us to learn, to keep the windows of our mind open and learn from every small thing around us. Can we be as beautiful, as useful, as productive as a pencil till our last day? Then the granny smiled at the grandson and left the grandchild with a question to ponder over this. And it's a question, all these 7 questions for us as well. This world is a place of wonder and also a place of learning moral lessons. Small things can give big lessons. Pencil can teach us so many big things which we had never imagined. So be observant and learn to help ourselves. Our main objective of life is to attain Paramatma by performing spiritual sadhana. Every bit of lesson that we learn in this life should help us to march ahead on that path of spirituality. With that intention, if we start observing things around us, then we have achieved our purpose. Okay, next shloka 49. Paramatma says, Mate vyatha cha vimudha bhavo društva rupam ghoramidbhrungma medam vipedavih pritamana punastvam tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. Ma, don't, let it not be. Vyatha, problem, trouble, or troubles. Vimudha bhav, bewilderment. Društva, by seeing. Rupam, form. Ghoram, horrible. Idrak, as it is. Idam is this. Vepedavi, free from all fears. Bhi is fear. Vepedavi, free from all fears. Pritamana, please, happiness in the mind. Puna, again. Tvam, you. Tat, that. Iva, thus. Me, my. Rupam, form. Idam, thus. Prapashya, just see. So accepting Arjuna's request, in this shloka, Lord Krishna orders Arjuna to behold his divine gentle form in order to remove his fear. Now he is showing his 4-armed form, the Vishnu Rupa. So from cosmic form, he is now changing to the 4-armed Vishnu Rupa. Sri Krishna says, on seeing such a frightening form of mine, be neither afraid nor get bewildered. With a fearless and complacent mind, behold once again the same 4-armed form of mine, the Vishnu Rupa. The word see my actual form are used to encourage Arjuna to have the complete vision to the rarest of rare divine form, because enjoying full view of the beautiful form of the God, having 4 arms, supporting crown and bearing conch, bearing mesh and bearing disc, is a guarantee of attaining moksha. If we have this glimpse for a 1/100th of a second, we have attained moksha. Can we be that lucky in our life? The Lord is not only love, He is terror also. We have experienced this in this adhyay. That Lord is not only love, He is terror also. In Hindu tradition, this other face of Lord, the face of terror, is expressed by the law of karma. That's why in that old Kalyan magazine, you see the photos of Narkloka and all that. If you do this karma, this is the consequence you will have to face. So this face of terror of Lord in our tradition is expressed by the law of karma. Do bad karma and face this terror of Lord. And we can see the fearful effects of its working all around us today also. That fearful form of Paramatma is existing today as well. Today we are reaping what we have sown in the past. The wars that we have seen and are seeing now also, the Israel-Hamas war, the Russia-Ukraine war, or the China and Taiwan fighting, South Korea and North Korea, everywhere things are happening, which have cost millions and millions of lives and brought so much sorrow and destruction in the world. They have not been inflicted upon us by anybody from outside. Human beings are causing all this, no? As some third entity has come, human beings are doing to human beings. The destructive forces are not outside us, they are within us too. In the very depth of our consciousness, all of us are involved in the fearful course of the world that world is taking today. We cannot blame the world only. We ourselves are responsible for this. For example, USA, the United States of America, the great country of the world, is exporting armaments worth $250 billion every year. That means other countries are importing armaments worth that much from America, which means a lot of people are getting involved in manufacturing, in trading, in transporting, in the building the stocks and deploying these American weapons all over the world. And then every American shares the responsibility for this deadly trade. Anyone who is involved in manufacturing, anyone who is involved in trading, anyone who is involved in transporting or stocking or deploying these American weapons, he is equally responsible for the destruction of the world. They have to pay for these karmas. Everyone who is getting involved in this has to pay for these karmas. We have to begin where we are and do the best that we can. So it is said that world's problems can be solved more effectively by many little people acting together rather than by the presidents or parliaments or the corporations of the country. Are we doing our bit? At least writing a letter and expressing our views that this is not correct, this is not right. If our words are true, they have to have an impact, they have to have an effect. And it's only a matter of time. We can change the government, isn't it? Governments are by the people and for the people. This famous sentence of Abraham Lincoln, everybody knows. But how much we follow it in practice? American people particularly should think that they can refuse to be a party to this violence in any way. We stop export of our weapons. Can they decide that? President Trump has come. Can he change this policy that America will stop export of all weapons? Most of the wars in the world will stop. Ukraine is fighting based on weapon supply from America only, isn't it? So many industries are involved in making arms, their development and sale. If even a small portion of people withdraw from this support of manufacturing and trading and deploying, this industry will collapse. The machinery of violence and these problems will be brought under control at least. But now the countries are competing with each other. Even India has started exporting huge amount of armament sale. So if every country start doing that, how can you bring peace in the world? You are encouraging wars, you are encouraging battles, you are encouraging people to kill people, and you are expecting on the other side that the peace will come. Is it possible? Okay, let us think on this aspect. Next loka. Sanjaya Vacho. Now again the focus is shifting from the Kurukshetra battlefield to the palace of Dhritarashtra. Directed by Maharshi Vedas, a great director. Sanjaya Vacho. Ityarjanam Vasudevasthathopva Swakam Rupan Darshayamasa Bhuyah Ashvasayamasa cha Bhitamenam Bhutva Punasamyava Puramahatma. Now, since the focus is shifting to palace of Dhritarashtra, iti means thus. Arjunam is to Arjuna, Vasudeva, Krishna Bhagavan, Tatha, in that way, Ukta, Ukta is speaking, Swakam, his own, Rupam, form, Darshayamasa, showed, Bhuya, again, Ashvasayamasa, encouraged, Bhitam, fearful, Enam, him, Bhutva, becoming, Puna, again, Saumya Vapu, Vapu is the body, Saumya is beautiful, soft. So soft form, Saumya Vapu, Mahatma, the great one. So Sanjay said to King Dhritarashtra, having spoken thus, what we have discussed in last 3-4 slokas, having spoken thus, the compassionate son of Vasudeva, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, displayed his personal 4-armed form again. Then he further consoled the frightened Arjuna by assuming his gentle 2-armed form. So in this adhyay, Arjuna first saw the 2-armed form, then the cosmic form, Sahasrabahu, then 4-armed form, the Vishnu Rup, and now he is again coming back to the 2-armed form of Lord Krishna. Shri Krishna hid the vision of his cosmic form and manifested before Arjuna in his 4-armed form, which is adorned with golden diadem, disc, mace, and lotus flower, Vishnu Rup. It is the repository of all divine opulences, such as majesty, omniscience, and omnipotence of the Lord. The 4-armed Shri Krishna evokes the sentiments of awe and reverence, much like the citizens of Ayodhya and Dwarka, what we discussed a little while ago. However, Arjuna was the Sakha of Shri Krishna, and the devotion dominated by the sentiments of awe and reverence would never satisfy him. He had played with Krishna, eaten with him, confided many of his secrets to him, and shared loving personal moments with Shri Krishna. Such blissful devotion of Sakhya Bhav, we have understood what is Sakhya Bhav. The devotion where God is seen as a personal friend is Sakhya Bhav. So Arjuna was saying God is personal friend. That Sakhya Bhav is infinitely sweeter than the Aishwarya Bhav. In Aishwarya Bhav, where the Lord is seen as distinct and almighty. How can he be my friend? He is almighty. But Sakhya Bhav says, God is almighty, I don't know, almighty and all that. He is my friend. Hence, to conform to Arjuna's sentiment of devotion, Shri Krishna finally hid even his 4-armed form and transformed into his original 2-armed form. God's care, God's concern, God's compassion for his true devotees is unlimited. Out of compassion, God revealed his cosmic divine form to Arjuna, who was keen to see it. And now seeing Arjuna got terror struck. After letting him have a full spiritual benefit, now God immediately assumed his beautiful form, 4-armed form, and then he pleased Arjuna by showing his 2-armed rupa. How gracious Lord was to Arjuna. He was able to see everything. He first revealed the cosmic form, then the divine form, and finally assumed the 2-armed form. Moreover, he has also showered his grace on all of us, not only Arjuna, that we should think of the Lord whenever and wherever our mind is attracted towards any person, any object, or any glory, or any merit, etc. All of us have got the same opportunity of listening to his divine glories and thinking of and recollecting his cosmic form, which was available to few persons such as Arjuna and Sanjay. So we should not miss this opportunity. The lesson to us is, be observant of persons around you, the events taking place around you, and see, notice the God. And this is exactly what I have learned in Vibhuti Yoga, 10th Adhyay. Ashwatha Sarvakshanan, even tree is a form of God. Sarasa Masmi Sagara, ocean is also God. Jyotishamyukta Ravi Ramshaman, all light emitting bodies, I am the Surya. So whether you are looking at sun, whether you are standing at the seashore, or whether you are watching only a tree, everything is God. So this is the Vasudhyam Sarvaviti sentiment that Paramatma says should come to in all of us. Okay, next sloka now, 51. Arjuna Vacho Društvedam Manusham Rupan Tava Saumye Janardana Idanimasmi Samvritta Sachetah Prakritim Gataha. Društva, after saying Idam is this. Manusham Rupam, human form. Tava, you are Saumyam, very beautiful, very soft. Idanim, how Asmi, I am Samavrta, settled, Sacheta, in my consciousness. Prakritim, to my whole nature, original nature. Gata, returned. So Arjuna says, God, thank you so very much. You have come back from your human form. So when Lord, by assuming the human form, consoled Arjuna, Arjuna said this to Lord. Having seen this gentle form of yours, 2 armed forms, it is a form of my friend. I am now composed and I am restored to my original normal nature. Now it is obvious that seeing God in his cosmic form was not all heaven and bliss for Arjuna. Ishvara forms the 3 functional forms, which also includes death and destruction. He creates, he maintains, and he kills also. So which is unimaginably terrifying. This mode of destruction and death is unimaginably terrifying even to a brave Kshatriya king Arjuna. He also could not see it. It is therefore a reminder to all of us that we must perform our karma in this world with proper care and caution, because the divine computer of karma is registering everything. Our register of karma will decide whether we see Paramatma in his sattvic form or in his terror form. Our karmas will decide that. In fact, it records those karmas more meticulously which we want to hide. मैंने किया ही नहीं, अरे आपने नहीं किया, but it is registered in your name, Baba. And our karma will decide whether we see the God in his divine form or in his terrifying form. So lesson to be learned from this adhyaya is this. Our karmas will decide whether the God will show his form to us as his divine form, a flute in his hand, a smile on his face, a crown on his head, or Dashtra Karala Rajimkani, that form. In a moment of infinite tenderness, the Lord reveals to Arjuna that he who contains all galaxies is still none other than Sri Krishna, his beloved companion and his guide. Arjuna takes a sigh of relief after seeing this human form of Krishna, and he calls Sri Krishna by a very sweet name, Janardana. Janardana. Janardana, literal meaning of Janardana, he who intoxicates the people. Now, intoxication does not necessarily mean by drugs or by drinking. It changes the consciousness due to these artificial things. They are prompted by external objects and they remain temporary only. The circumstances change. People often go under depression and then they go for this. Arjuna is experiencing this. The joy of being united with Lord, that is permanent. So Arjuna is thanking Paramatma, Janardhan. So 52. Shri Bhagavanu Vacho Sudurdarshamitam Rupan Drushtavanasi Yanmamo Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityan Darshana Kankshinaha. Now Paramatma is saying again the same thing. Sudurdarshamitam Rupan Drushtavanasi Yanmamo Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityan Darshana Kankshinaha. So Sudarshanam, very difficult to Sudurdarsha, that means very difficult to see. Idam, this Rupam form, Drishtanavi, that you have seen, Yata, which, Mama, mine, Deva, the demigods, Asya, this, Rupasya form, Nityam, eternally, Darshana Kankshinaha, people who are Kankshina, desirous, aspiring to see. The Lord says, Shri Krishna now supporting Arjuna's view expressed in the previous shloka, he explains the rarity of the vision of his 4-armed divine form. He says it is extremely difficult, Sudurdarsha, very difficult to obtain the vision you have had. Even the gods, the demigods in the Swarga Loka are always longing to see me in this aspect, but they cannot. So after showing the Arjuna his cosmic form and praising it for being manifest exclusively for him, Shri Krishna wants to ensure that Arjuna's love for the personal form of God is firm and strong. Hence Shri Krishna says that the way in which Arjuna sees God is exceedingly rare. He emphasizes that even the celestial gods yearn for realizing the God in that form. Devas, gods, are great spiritual and moral personalities who have great character and profound spiritual knowledge, of course. They are so keen to have a glimpse of this divine form, but they cannot have a great luck like Arjuna had. It is not possible to get such unique response from the Lord. Great Rajarshi Arjuna could invoke such a rare response from the Lord due to his great faith and devotion and his surrendering. Arjuna, being a great yogi prince, a renowned hero in every sense of the term, was a great devotee of Lord Krishna and had deep karma nishtha. It was due to these excellent merits that he attracted Lord's grace. Of course, the role of karma samskar is also bound to be there. Karma samskar also play an important role, of course. Yes. Lord says, the demigods too long to see my cosmic form, and why not? When people are so taken in by something extraordinary, ordinary is regarded as boring. When you say something extraordinary, then ordinary things start boring. Whereas the extraordinary is much sought after every day. Now there are well-defined yog siddhis. Yog siddhi is called anima, mahima, laghima, all that. In mahima, a yogi can expand his body size to whatever proportion he wants. The story in our Ramayana is Hanuman had attained this siddhi of mahima. So when the demon Surasa blocked his path to Lanka and thundered that she would gobble him up, Hanuman said, fine, open your mouth. But the wider she opened the mouth, the bigger Hanuman's body became. And when before she could understand what was going on, Hanumanji abruptly made his form so minuscule, so small, that he swiftly entered in her mouth and returned from her gaping mouth. Mahima and Lakhima. Expanding, magnifying, or diminishing the body size, making the body heavier or lighter, these are some of the yoga siddhis, which if someone were to exhibit publicly, it is but natural that the onlookers will get terrified, petrified, distressed. That is why it is advocated in yoga, even if one were to attain this kind of siddhis, one should not display, should not make an exhibition of these siddhis. Now the question may come, if not for display, why should I acquire such siddhis? People do everything for exhibiting, no? But let us understand that by exhibiting your siddhi, your ego will get bolstered. And ego getting bolstered is not good for us. It will keep us under bondage for all the time. Okay, Shlok 53. Naham vedairna tapasa nadanena na chejjaya shakya evam vido drashtamanasi mayata. Aham, I, Vedeha, by study of Vedas, Tapasa, by serious tapas, Danina, by charity, Ijjaya, by worship, Shakya, it is possible, Evam Vidho, like this, Drashtum, to see, Drashtan, seeing, Asi, you are, Mama is me. So Paramatma says, the form in which you have seen me cannot be seen either through Veda knowledge, by tapa, by austerity, by charity, or by performance of yoga. Shri Krishna says, the form that Arjuna has seen is not seen by any of these, performing any amount of Vedic studies, austerities, or doing some yajnas. The basic spiritual principle is that God cannot be known by the strength of one's efforts. You have to have grace of God. Your efforts, okay, fine, you keep taking efforts. However, those who engage in devotion to Him, they become recipient of His grace. Then by virtue of His grace, they are easily able to see Him, they are easily able to know Him. Vaidya says, Naya Matma Pravachanena Labhyo Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Shrutena. Means God cannot be known either by spiritual discourses or through intellect. Medhaya, Medha means buddhi, intellect, or can He be known by hearing various kinds of teaching. Na Bahuna Shrutena. God is Supreme Soul. Nobody can see the soul unless the beholder is also a soul. We are a body and we want to see the soul, the greatest soul, Supreme Soul, the most divine soul. Body cannot see the soul. You have to come to the soul level. The soul consciousness has to be awakened in us if you want to see the great soul. And for this reason, God gifted Arjuna the spiritual eyes. Soul seeing does not mean that the soul is a duality. That will become a Dvaita Bhav, that I am different, Paramatma is different. It means to have the soul consciousness. God says knowledge of Vedas, knowledge of yajnas, performance of yajnas, austerity, and good sattvic karma can only lead a person to heaven, but not to God realization. That means, does it mean that by performing any of this, if we cannot attain God, then what will take us to God? Does it mean that we should give up all these actions because they will not take us to the God? No, it does not mean so. We should ignore and leave these sattvic practices is not recommended. God has said himself in 18th Adhyay, यज्ञोदान तप न त्याज्यमिति कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञोदान तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम. This yajna, dana, tapa should never be given up. They purify the heart of even jnanis, ardent jnani seekers of the God. So what about us? We are not jnani, so definitely it will purify our hearts also. Even jnani's hearts gets purified, so our hearts is so dirty, it will get purified definitely with this yajna, dana, tapa. So Paramatma is recommended in 18th Adhyay, never give up this. When Lord cannot be seen even by meritorious act of yajna, tapa, dan, then how he can be seen? We should perform this, but don't expect that the God will show him to you. Krishna suggests the means in next 2 shlokas of this Adhyay. So this shlok 54 and 55, they are the epitome of this Adhyay. We will learn great messages from this. With an interesting story, we will try to understand these messages in more details. Shlok 54. Bhaktya tvanannaya shakya ahamevam vidhorjuna jnatum drashtaincha tattvena praveshtaincha parantapo. Bhaktya. Bhaktya means by devotional service. Ananyaya, without being mixed with sakam karma. Shakya, possible. Aham, I. Evam vidha, like this. Jnatum, to know. Drashtum, to see. Tattvena, in fact, in tattva. Praveshtum, to enter into, to become one with, to get united. Parantapa is calling for Arjuna. One who gives tension to his enemy is Parantapa. Who gives tap to his enemy is Parantapa. So Arjuna was a Parantapa. So Paramatma says, Bhaktya-tvanandaya shakya ahamevam vidorjuna jnatun drashtuncha tattvena praveshtuncha Parantapa. In earlier shloka, Paramatma said, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Veda, Dhyan, everything. Okay, you can attain heaven, but you cannot attain me. Now for attaining Paramatma, what should be done? That we learn in this shloka as well as the next. So Arjuna, the scorcher of foes, that means Parantapa, by deep faith, Dhrida Shraddha and devotion, by this form can be seen and known and also entered into. Entered into is becoming united with me. So in this shloka, Shri Krishna emphasizes bhakti as the means for attaining him. Bhakti. In earlier shloka, we have seen that he had stated that his universal form can only be seen by devotion. Shloka 48, it had said like that. Now in this shloka, Shri Krishna emphatically declares that he can only be realized through bhakti. This has been repeatedly said in our Vedic scriptures also. Vedas at one place say, devotion alone will unite us with the God. Devotion alone will help us to see him. Devotion alone will help us to attain him. God is enslaved by true devotion, which is the best of all paths. Bhagavata says, Uddhava, I come under the control of my devotees. Paramatma says in Bhagavatam, I am won over by them. By those who do not engage in devotion can never attain me by practicing Ashtanga Yoga or by study of Sankhya Yoga or by other philosophies or performing other pious activities, austerities or cultivating even renunciation. Sannyas भी ले लो तो भी भगवान नहीं दिखेगा. Further it says, I am only attained through bhakti. Those who engage in my bhakti with faith are very dear to me. Ramayana says, Vilahinana Raghupati Vina Anuraga. Kiyena Joga Tapa Jnana Visaga. Without devotion, one can never attain God. No matter how much one endures through the practice of Ashtanga Yoga, austerities, knowledge, and detachment. Deep faith and devotion are the only criteria to see the four-armed form of God and know the God. God says that only such faith-filled worshippers can enter into him, that means can get united into him, united with him. The devotees must have full faith and trust in the God. The mere knowledge of scriptures, Vedas, and the performance of yoga, dana, tapa are not enough to see this form of God. The keen desire of a devotee for God realization, it arouses the desire in the Lord to meet his devotee. God should also become desirous of seeing his devotee, no? Devotees have the desire all the time, but God should have the desire, no? Then he removes all the obstacles of the devotee by his grace and reveals himself to him without considering other eligibilities of his. Paramatma sees at the devotion, Dhrad Vishwas, strong faith. In Hindu tradition, we have beautiful stories showing this power of faith, Shraddha, Dhrad Vishwas. One of such stories is about a boy, Haridas. It's an interesting story. I'm sure you like it. There was a boy, Haridas, young boy, whose mother was a great devotee of Gopala. Every day, Haridas had to walk to the school through a forest inhabited by all kinds of wild animals. The journey frightened him so much that he asked his mother what to do. I'm so scared of these wild animals, to continue to go to school or stop it. The mother said, oh, don't be afraid, Hari. You have a big brother, Gopala, who lives in the forest. All you have to do when you pass through that forest is to call his name, and then he will come and escort you to the school. Now, Haridas had never heard about his elder brother earlier in his life. He was merely 8-9 years old boy, but never he had heard that he has an elder brother also. But he believed his mother's words completely. माँ ने बोला तो झूठ कैसे हो सकता है? I may have an elder brother. So next time he entered the forest, he called out, Gopala, Gopala, Gopala. At first, no one appeared. But the boy's faith was so great in his mother's words that you call Gopala, Gopala, and Gopala will come. So he kept on calling, Gopala, 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 Gopala. He just went on calling and calling. After a while, from behind the tree, a young, handsome man in his yellow silk dhoti, wearing a peacock feather in his rich black hair, just appeared from behind the trees. What are you shouting about? He asked Hari. Then Hari said, I'm scared of wild animals and all that. Then the two became good friends. From that day onwards, Krishna appeared every time the boy called him Gopala, 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 and Krishna would come from behind the trees and went with him as far as the edge of the forest. Haridas was never afraid of the forest again. One day, the boy was little nervous and said to his mother that tomorrow there is a feast in our school and every boy has been asked to bring something to eat. But we are so poor that I cannot take anything for my entire class. We are not that rich that I can bring any food item for the entire class. But Hari's mother was undisturbed, unperturbed. She said, just ask your big brother. You ask your brother tomorrow for some yogurt for you to take. He will give you yogurt. He loves yogurt. Your big brother, elder brother, he loves yogurt and has lot of yogurt. Sri Krishna, Gopala. The next day, Hari arrived at the school with a little bowl, small little bowl of yogurt when they all sat down to eat. Hari's yogurt was passed on with all other dishes to everybody in the class. It was just a small bowl, and there would have been yogurt enough for just 3 or 4 persons at the most. But no matter how much was taken out from that small bowl, the bowl was never empty. Naturally, the teacher became quite interested in this phenomena. He asked Hari, where did you get this bottomless bowl? It has no bottom. Where did you get this bowl from? Hari replied, my elder brother Gopala, he gave me this. He lives in the forest, my elder brother, and he gave me this yogurt bowl. Teacher was surprised. He knew his Hari's mother, and he asked Hari, but you don't have any elder brother? Come on, tell me the truth. What is the truth about this yogurt bowl? But Hari was, of course, stuck to his words. He said, no, my elder brother is there, Gopala, in the forest. And he gave me this bowl. Finally, the teacher decided to accompany Hari. That day, when Hari was going home, the teacher accompanied him. And he wanted to see this mysterious older brother, Gopala. Who is this Gopala? Who handed this miraculous, unending bowl of yogurt to Hari. But in his heart, he still thought that the boy was telling a lie. They reached the forest and Hari called, Gopala, Gopala, Gopala. And Krishna appeared from behind one of the trees in his yellow silk dhoti and peacock feather. Hari waved and cried, Hi Gopala. Then he turned to his teacher and said, see, this is my elder brother Gopala. You wanted to see now? See, this is my elder brother Gopala. Do you believe me now that I have an elder brother Gopala who lives in the forest? Now can I run home and tell my mother about the wonderful feast that we had in the school today? And Hari hurriedly ran off to his home. But the school teacher was left standing there feeling rather ridiculous because he could not see anyone there at all. Hari is talking to Gopala, 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 but teacher could not see anything there. It is a simple story, but it illustrates the power of complete faith. When we have to have this kind of unquestioning trust in our Lord who is within us, without any kind of selfish reservation for ourselves, there is no end to the resources that will flow into our lives. Gopala will come. We should have this deep faith. Unfortunately, at present, very little of our love flows towards the Lord. It does not go to Gopala. Most of our energy, most of our love is flowing to all sorts of other things like money, property, car, or some such material world things. If we can reverse this flow and let our love flow to Gopala, Gopala will see us also. We can see Gopala as well. As Hari experienced Gopala with his firm belief, faith, we can also experience Gopala in our life. But for that, we have to change the direction of our love. Now in the next shloka, Paramatma is describing the nature of bhakti. Last shloka of this adhyay. Mat karma krun mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjitaha nirvairas sarva bhuteshu yassamameti pandavo. Last shloka. Mat karma krut, engaging in working for me. Mat param, considering me as the supreme. Mat bhakta, engage in my devotional service. Sangha varjita, sangha is asakti. Varjita is to give up, free from asakti. Nirvaira, without any enemy. Sarva bhuteshu, in all entities. Yah, one who, saha, he, mama, to me, eti, comes. Pandava is calling for Arjuna. So Paramatma says, whoever, now this is the summary of entire Bhagavad-Gītā. One similar slok we have seen in 9th Adhyay, which we'll see. Mat karma kurun mat parmo, mat bhakta sanghavrita, nirvaya sarva bhuteshu, yassamameti pandava. This is the message of Gita. Whoever makes me the supreme goal of his karmas, actions, and acts without selfish attachment, sanghavarjita, who devotes himself to me completely, is free from ill will for all creatures, he enters into me. Yassamameti pandava. Enters into me means he becomes united. He becomes one with me. Now at the end of 9th Adhyay, if you remember, Shri Krishna had asked Arjuna to fix his mind upon him and be devoted to him. The shloka of last shloka of 9th Adhyay was Man manabhava madbhakto madhya jiman namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktva atmanam matparayanaha. So to enhance that devotion, he further revealed secrets about himself in the 10th Adhyay, Vibhuti Adhyay, to enhance that Shraddha, that devotion in Arjuna. And in this Adhyay, 11th Adhyay, he showed his Vishwarup darshan to him. In the earlier shloka, he again emphasized the supremacy of the path of devotion. Now he concludes this Adhyay by highlighting 5 characteristics of those who engage in the exclusive devotion of the Lord. What are the 5 characteristics? Mat karma. They perform all their duties for my sake. Accomplished devotees do not divide their work into material activity and spiritual activities, as we normally do. 9 o'clock I will sit for spiritual sadhana. 10 o'clock I will go to conduct my normal activities. Jnanis don't divide like this. They perform every work for the pleasure of God, thus treating every karma as sacred for the God. Sant Kabir has a beautiful doha on this. He says, Jaha jaha chalu karud parikrama, jo jo karu so seva, jab sovu na karu dandavata, janur deva na duja. Meaning, when I walk, I think I am taking rounds around the Lord. I am doing parikrama, I am doing pradakshina. So simple walking can turn into a parikrama, pradakshina. It depends how we look at our walking. If we look at our walking as if we are doing pradakshina, parikrama to Paramatma, our walking becomes divine. Simple thing like walking can become divine. It is in our hands to make it divine. While walking, take this thought to our mind that I am doing pradakshina, I am doing parikrama to Paramatma. Jo karu so seva. When I work, I think I am serving the Lord. Jab sovu na karu dandavata. When I sleep, I think I am offering my obeisances. I am doing dandavat, sashtang pranipat to Paramatma, even when I am sleeping. So every simple activity of our life, we can devote to the God. If we have the purity of mind. In this manner, Januna Deva Naduja. In this manner, I perform no activity other than that which is offered to the God. Great message. Great message. Jahan jahan chalu na karu na parikrama, jo jo karu so seva. Jab sovu na karu dandavata, janur deva naduja. Second, after mat karma, Paramatma says, Krun mat parmo. They depend upon me. Those who rely upon their spiritual practices to reach the God are not exclusively dependent upon Him. This is because He is attained by His grace, not merely by spiritual practice. His grace has to there. That is because He is attained by His grace. His exclusive devotees do not even rely upon their devotion as a means of attaining Him. They do devotional service, but they don't depend on their devotional service for attaining Him. Rather, they place their entire faith on His grace alone, and see their devotion as merely a way of attracting that divine grace. So devotion is to be done for not attaining Paramatma, devotion is to be done for attaining His grace. Because without His grace, we cannot attain anything. We have been making a mistake. We have been doing all devotional things in our life to attain Paramatma. God says, offer your devotional service to get my grace. If you get my grace, everything becomes obvious then. Mad Bhakta. Next is the Mad Bhakta. They are devoted to me. The devotees do not feel the need for performing any other spiritual practice, such as cultivation of knowledge of Sankhya Yoga or practicing Ashtanga Yoga. What is Ashtanga Yoga? Ashtanga Yoga, eightfold yoga. Yama, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. This is Ashtanga Yoga. But even this will not help you to attain Paramatma. Performance of yajnas will not help you to attain Paramatma. In this way, they feel their relationship is only with the God alone. They behold only their beloved Lord Sri Krishna pervading in all objects and all personalities. Madbhakta. Sanghavarjitaha. They are free of attachments. Devotion requires the engagement of mind. And this is possible if the mind is detached from the material world. So exclusively, the devotees are free from all worldly attachments and repose their mind in the God alone. That is Sanghavarjitaha. Nirvera sarvabhuteshu. They are without malice towards all beings. If the heart fills with malice, it will again not remain exclusively towards the Lord. Definitely. Your mind will be thinking about some plan to punish somebody here and there, if it has a malice towards them. Thus, exclusive devotees do not harbor any malice in their mind, even towards those who have harmed them. Instead, that God resides in the heart of all beings, they see all actions as stemming from Him. So they forgive even their wrongdoers. This is the vision of Lord, which we have to cultivate everywhere, at all times, 24/7. Now, how to know that we are becoming aware of God in our life? whenever we are able to forget our own petty satisfactions and in working for others' welfares, whether it is our family, our community, or our society, or our world, we are becoming a little more aware of the Lord in our life. Whenever we are able to remember that what hurts us hurts others also, we are becoming a little more aware of the Lord in our life. Whenever we are able to respond patiently and positively to others, even if they are hostile to us or rub us on the wrong way, we are becoming a little more aware of the God in our life. So when Krishna tells us about devotion, he does not mean private relationship between us and him. Rather, he means the whole of our relationship with every living creature. In this final sloka of Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, Lord gives us his promise that if we devote ourselves to him completely, whether we call him Krishna, whether we call him Shri Ram, or we call him Shiva, we'll be united with him without fail, entering into his wholeness to become one with the indivisible unity he has revealed to us in this great Adhyay, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. So if we keep our eyes on the supreme goal of our life all the time, our life will be full of meaning. Every decision we take will be significant for the world. Every morning, we will renew our decision not to live for ourselves, but to do what adds to the welfare of everyone. And once we have learned to make this decision, we can live in any city, in any country, in any society, and we can have a good account of our life. The attitude has to change. There is a story which illustrates this point very significantly. Very small story. Take it as an anecdote only. On the first day of sun's creation, the sun God's creation, people expected that the sun will shine in the sky forever. No one knew that the sun had a dip into the water every evening for a 12-hour bath so that it rises fresh in the morning. So on the first day of evening of creation of the sun, everyone was terrified to see the sun about to set and once again the darkness beginning to spread in the world. They did not know what to do. Then one little person stood up and he said, I will light a candle. Then one little person, he said, I will light a candle. Someone else added, okay, I will also do. Here, there, everywhere, millions of people started lighting their candles and soon the whole world was filled with light again. This simple story shows us the importance of every person on the earth. No matter how insignificant our lives may appear, see, we may look ordinary, but within the heart of each of us lie tremendous capacities for love and sacrifice. If we can keep our eyes always on Lord's love, there will be no problem on the earth which is too dire for ordinary people like you and me to solve. Can Hindus learn and unite and burn our small candle for our Sanatan Dharma? Can we all come together and burn that small candle in the interest of our unity of our Sanatan Dharma? Think about it. This is the end of 12th Adhyay, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. Thank you so very much for your interest and for your patience. Jai Shri Krishna. Now the forum is open for you to ask your questions.
Thank you so much, Bhayaji, for this glorious Vivechan session and for giving us a deeper understanding of this merciful chapter. Thank you so much for sharing the devotional kathas, stories, for giving us valuable lessons and making the session so interesting. I thank each and every sadhak for sitting here attentively and patiently listening and understanding. Let me remind our all dear sadhaks that our new level 1 batch is starting from 21st February. Please circulate this message among your loved ones and help them register and help them to join Geeta Pariwar. Please give them this divine gift of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. Also, our Geeta Parivar Sevis and Sadhaks are now at Prayagraj giving the Mahaseva of Geeta Prachar at Mahakumbh. The Sevis will continue to give this Seva till 12th February. All sadhaks who are wishing to be part of this once in a lifetime seva, please come forward and fill the volunteer form as soon as possible. Now, we are opening the platform for question and answer session. I kindly request all sadhaks to raise their virtual hands, and if possible and comfortable, please turn on your videos to ask query from Vikas Bhaiya ji. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Namaste.
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 Bulliye, namaste. I can hear you.
My question is, when Dhritarashtra comes to know that all his sons are going to die and get defeated in war, why he did not tell Duryodhana and Bhishma to stop war on that day itself?
See, before the war started, everybody tried with Duryodhana, including Dhritarashtra himself. But Duryodhana was very firm, stubborn. And Dhritarashtra could not go against the wishes of Duryodhana. He always was in love with Duryodhana, knowing well that he is doing a wrong thing. He could not oppose him. And despite listening in many shlokas from Sanjay that it is Pandavas who are going to get the crown on their head and not the Kauravas, Kauravas going to lose, they are going to get killed. Even then, Dhritarashtra did not stop the war. Because he just heard the words from Sanjaya, he never had the intellect open of his mind to think and understand what has been said. That's why I always insist that Gita should not only be read, it should be understood. Every word of Gita should be understood. Otherwise, we'll be reading Gita like Dhritarashtra only, like a blind person, which makes no use, no help to us, isn't it?
Yes,
So one who understands with this knowledge that I want to understand Gita and bring it in my life, he is really reading the Gita. Dhritarashtra only heard the Gita, he did not understand the
Bhishma
Gita.
was a wise man, no, sir. Bhishma was wise. If he told Bhishma, he would have...
But he was committed to the throne of Hastinapur. He had committed to the kings of Hastinapur that he will always protect the throne of Hastinapur. So he was committed by his commitment that he will protect the kingdom of Hastinapur come what may.
Okay.
So he had to support Kauravas, knowing well that they are on the wrong side. He had to support them to keep commitment. Same was with Dronacharya also. Same was Kripacharya also. They were committed to the throne of Hastinapur.
But the throne of the king is going to thrown out. Why didn't they stop at that time? At least after Vishwadarshan. Dhritarashtra could have told them all, no?
Dhritarashtra could not see the Vishwadarshan, no? Dhritarashtra was only described the Vishwadarshan by Sanjaya. Nobody could see it except Arjuna and Sanjay. Nobody could see it.
Okay.
Srimana Narayan ji. Yes, sir.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Guruji, I have two questions. How many people have seen this Vishwarupa, cosmic form of Krishna Bhagavan?
See, we discussed in this Adhyaya that Yashoda Ma saw it when Krishna was a child.
Okay.
He opened his mouth and Yashoda could see this cosmos in his little mouth. So Yashoda was the one who saw in Krishna's mouth. Then on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna saw it because he got the divine sight from Krishna, and Sanjay also saw it because he got the divine sight from Maharshi Vedavyas. So there are the three people who saw it.
Okay, Vedavyas also seen?
Maharshi Vedavyas, he was a Vibhuti, he was a form of Krishna only.
Yeah,
but
Krishna Dvaipayana.
No.
But what about this at the time of Rayabara, in the court of Dhritarashtra, he became angry and he has shown that Vishwarupa at that time before killing that Shishupala.
Yeah. It is said that he also showed this.
But at that time it is Vishwarupa or not?
That was a Vishnu Rup, not the cosmic form. It was a Vishnu Rup form, four-arm form. With a chakra in his hand.
He killed that Shishupala.
Shishupala, he took out his head with the chakra. So that was a Vishnu Rup form.
Okay. One more. Whether this Arjuna has seen this Vishnu Rupa earlier, that is four arms.
No,
why he is telling that come to the original form, why he is telling, whether he has seen that original form earlier, that is a four-armed form or not?
See, this cosmic form which Arjuna saw, it was
Yeah.
showing all Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He saw
All.
Bhagavan Vishnu in that cosmic form.
Yes.
When a lotus is coming out of his navel, on which the Brahmadeva is sitting, so he saw Vishnu, Brahma, Mahesh in that cosmic form.
Yes.
So that was the place he saw Vishnu Bhagavan also there.
Yes,
Not that
that
he
is
saw it
correct.
separately earlier. Not that he saw separately earlier in his life, but everybody knows
But
Lord
why
Vishnu.
is asking the four-arm form? I want to see that one. Whether that is not the original form. The two-arm Manishya Rupa is the original form of Bhagavan. But why is asking four-arm form? Whether he has seen any time earlier or not.
See, that is the Saumya Vapu. That means it is a gentle form of God. The Sahasra
But
Bhava
that is
form.
there, but he has seen. Has he seen earlier or not?
No, he had not seen it earlier. He saw it only in the cosmic form. Lord Vishnu, he saw only in the cosmic form.
Yes.
Everybody knows Lord Vishnu is a four-armed God. Even that time, 5,500 years back, people knew who is Lord Vishnu. So that's why he wanted to see Lord Vishnu as a four-armed Lord. And that's why he requested him to show four-armed form. Because seeing Vishnu in that form is a guarantee of getting moksha. That is what we discussed today also. That if one have a glimpse of that Lord Vishnu for even 1/100th of a second, he is guaranteed to get moksha.
Devatas also will always pray for that form only to view that one.
Right.
Okay. One more that in this Bhagavad Gita, how many forms of Chandasu has been adopted by our Vyasa?
How many?
Forms or types of Chandasu. That is Chandasu is Anushtup Chandas and like that.
There are only two chandas here, Anushtup and Trishtup. In Gita, only two chandas are there, Anushtup and Trishtup.
Trishtup. Only two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the our 11th chapter, he has used both the forms, both the types.
Yes. Second Adhyaya also it has, 15th Adhyaya also
Yeah.
it has. So
Yes.
9th of those, the 9th.
Anushtup and Trishtup. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Guruji, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Geeta Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
Of course, Gita, we have to keep referring and understand every now and then, as you said. Some of them we have grasped better, some of them we have to go back. But along with that, in Bhagavata, Veda, and Upanishad, what is the brief or the best way to understand more about this?
See, they are all very big, very huge. If you want to read entire Bhagavad, it will
So
take more of your life to read and understand entire Bhagavad. So, Bhagavad Gita, because it is an extract of Vedas, Upanishads. Upanishads are very difficult to understand. Unless somebody is teaching you word by word, you cannot grasp what Upanishads say. The Sanskrit used in Upanishads is quite complicated, not so easy to understand. So, Upanishads, Vedas are for the people who are jnanis, real jnanis. Bhagavad Gita is for commoners like us. But nobody it is less important than Upanishads and Vedas because it is ultimately an extract. Sarvopanishado gavo dugdha gopalanandana. Gopala took the milk extracted milk out of Vedas and Upanishads and said this Gita. So it is an extract. It is an extract of Vedas and Upanishads.
So is there any brief brief book or anything we can refer to if we have more or if we want to know more or understand?
There is no brief book, is only Gita, nothing else.
Okay. And second question is, Buddha is not the 9th avatar of Vishnu as we were told. Is that correct or?
Yeah, now it's a question of belief. Some people say yes, some people say no. So it's for people to believe whether he's Vishnu
Because
avatar or
if
not.
Buddha was the 9th avatar, we could have taken some point and in Sanatan Dharma or whatever we call Hinduism.
But Buddha formed his own dharma, no Buddha Dharma. He came out of
that's
contradicting.
That is contradicting. We say 9th avatar but there is a separate dharma.
Right. That's why the people of Sanatan Dharma, they don't accept that Buddha was a avatar of Lord.
Avatar. So basically, Vedas are not accepted by Buddha.
They have their own logic and they have their own this thing.
So, as per Sanatan Dharma, now the Buddha is not the ninth avatar.
Yeah, he's not the ninth avatar. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rajni Didi. Didi, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir, very much. You
Thank you.
explained so nicely. I have got one doubt that what were the karmas of Sanjay that he got the holy, that precious eyes to see what Lord is talking to Arjuna and what is happening on the battlefield. What was his karma? What was his rather punya?
There is no mention of what punya karma he had, but definitely the past samskars, they play an important role. Otherwise, any ordinary person cannot get the divine sight from Maharishi Vedavas. Maharishi Vedavas first offered it to Dhritarashtra. And as we all know, Pandu and Dhritarashtra were the sons of Maharishi Vedavas. So he offered it to Dhritarashtra first. But Dhritarashtra declined it, saying that I am blind since birth, and at the end of my life, I don't want to see this bloodbath. But at the same time, I want to know what is going on there on the battlefield. So Sanjay is my assistant.
So it must
Him. So based on request of Dhritarashtra, Maharishi Vedavas gave it to Sanjay, so that Sanjay could narrate what is going on the battlefield.
Yes, yes.
That
But
was the
it
reason.
means that Sanjay got fruits of what karma? Means he must have done very good
Previous life, he
karma.
must have done some punya sattvic karma, of which we do not know exactly what exactly he did. But definitely, the Gita changed Sanjaya to the extent that at the end he said, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matirmamo. He announced, without getting afraid of his king, to whom he is telling that wherever Lord Krishna and Arjuna are there, that side is going to win. So that means King Dhritarashtra, you are going to lose. So he got that courage.
Yes.
He got that courage after knowing Gita.
Yes.
So he changed. Arjuna, of course, got changed.
Yes.
But Dhritarashtra did not change, as we discussed.
Yeah.
He only heard Gita. He did not understand Gita.
Yes.
So Gita is to be understood, not only heard or spoken about.
Sir, second question is, I have applied for this Vishnu Sahasranam. I filled the form, everything, but I didn't get any reply from them. They said that on 9th, you will be getting the reply or the link. Nothing I have received so far. I don't know whether the whole lot is completed or what. And if it is so, at least I must know about it, that I will have chance in next session. Like,
Send me a personal message. I will see. But the classes are already starting from tomorrow. Today was the opening of this Vishnu Sahasranam class, and the new batch is starting from tomorrow.
okay, so I have already filled the form, sir. I have filled the form. The portal came before me. It was open. Then I filled in. But they said that the link will be sent to you on 9th. Means today.
So link will come. Link has not been shared to any group so far. Have you been added to any WhatsApp group?
Yeah. I
So
have given my.
tomorrow. You will get the link tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Santosh Bhaiya ji.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya. I have two questions actually. You said that everything we do, yajna, tapa, dana, adhyana, should be with the devotion and with the faith. But the mind has a tendency to question inside. So that faith is conflicted by the questions actually. So how to deal with that one?
Yito vito nishchati manashchanchalma sthiram tatasto nimit atmanivashanit. In 6th Adhyaya, Paramatma says, wherever your mind goes, drag it back. It will go again. You want to sit for meditation, the mind will go and sit in a Pizza Hut, or it will go and sit in a mall, or in a theater, or in a restaurant. Bring it back. It will again run somewhere, again bring it back. This will keep on happening. Ultimately, the mind will get tired. Like the body gets tired after doing a lot of physical activity, and in the night we get a deep sleep. Similarly, when the mind gets tired, it starts sitting at one place. Then it does not go out. So that is an exercise which we have to do. Mind has to be stabilized. Mind has to be still. And unless mind is still, further spiritual sadhana is not possible. So stilling of mind is a must. And this is the technique Paramatma has taught us in Atma Sanyam Yoga, 6th Adhyaya. how to straighten the mind, how to steal the mind.
Okay, so practice
Yeah,
is the
abhyas
only
and
way there. Yeah.
abhyas and vairagya. Abhyas is practice, practice, practice. Vairagya is detachment from the material world. If we detach ourselves from why the mind is running to the material world? Because we are attached to material world. If we can somehow manage to detach ourselves from material world, that means vairagya, and then practicing it, practice, practice, practice. So practice and vairagya, abhyas and vairagya. These things are, because your question is asked by Arjuna also. So this question is asked that you are saying that mind is to be still, but mind is very fragile. It does not remain at one thought even for a few seconds. So how can we stabilize mind at one point all the time? So Paramatma has replied it this way, that abhyas and kaunteya vairagya cha griyate. Abhyas and vairagya. These are the two techniques to steal the mind.
My second question actually just worry is that it's nowadays very hard and worry for parents that our next generation is not very much inclined to our own Hindu culture. I think it's also for many parents that kind of thing. So it is sometimes worry that even next to next generation it will vanish. I wonder that how we parents as parents what we do really that they can develop a liking for it that way.
See, the only way is to demonstrate by doing it. When you get up in the morning, stand in your puja house, puja ghar, and say few shlokas. After taking bath, you can say either Ram Raksha or Ganpati Athar Shirsha or Shiva Vina Sutra or Vishnu Sahasranam. In the evening or in the afternoon, if you are at home, or in the evening, if you are going to the office, read the Gita. And this everything should be watched by your son or daughter. You should demonstrate by doing it. When they see the parents doing it, they may not do it. They may not do it. But an imprint will definitely go on their mind. Oh, this is also something that is to be done. That helps. That helps. So we have to show it by doing it. Merely telling them by words may not have good effect. We have to set an example by doing it. When we create that kind of atmosphere in our house, then that atmosphere acts as a miracle. And they also get inclined one day saying that, Papa, what are you reading every day? Can I see what exactly you are reading? Then the dialogue opens between you and him. And then you can say, this is what you are doing. And this is what one should do. This is our culture. So that dialogue has to be opened. But before that, we have to demonstrate by first doing it ourselves. So that's why I insist that parents, if they change themselves, then only they can expect the children to change. If the parents don't change themselves, they only start preaching, ye karo, wo karo, and they are not doing themselves. The son will say, you are not doing and why are you preaching me? Isn't it? So we have to first do it ourselves and then expect them to do. So do it for a few days and then expect them to follow you. Children definitely follow. They understand that if Papa is doing something, it must be good for everyone. Let me also try it one day.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Okay. Thank you.
Rakeshwari Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I have one question, but not related to today's slokas. Now, everything, Lord Vishnu is the source for everything, for all the creation, for creator of Brahma, everything. So now, where does the concept of Shakti or Devi come?
See, when we are reading Gita, we give prominence to Lord Vishnu. If we read Shiva Mahimna, then the prominence is given to Lord Shiva. If you read Sri Sukta or Lakshmi Sukta, the prominence is given to Lakshmi. So it depends on which scripture you are reading.
Like actually,
In Vishnu Sadhana, we read that Shiva and Brahma and Goddess are standing in front of Lord Vishnu with folded hands and doing namaskaram to Vishnu.
yes.
In Devi Puran, we read differently. We read in Devi Puran that Devi is standing and Vishnu, Brahma and Mahesh are standing in front of Devi with folded hands. So it depends on the scripture you are reading. Ultimately, the only thing what we have to understand is God is in all forms. Whichever form you love most, you can see the God in that form. Somebody wants to see God in the form of Vaishno Devi, you can see it in Vaishno Devi form. Somebody wants to see in Ganesh, you can see it in Ganesh. So everything is God. Vasudevam Sarvaiti. Whether it is Devi or Mahesh or Vishnu or Shiva, everything is same. It is that eternal power, what we call as God. You can see it in any form.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Sriman
Guruji, small question.
Yes, please.
Our Pujyasri Govind Guru has told that there are 5 Ratnas in the Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, 5 Ratnas are there. What 5 Ratnas? One is Bhagavad Gita, second one is Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Another 3 I want to know, please.
I cannot tell you offhand, but Param Pujya Swamiji always insists on Vishnu Sahasranam and Gita. He has come to our Vishnu Sahasranam classes many times, and he has definitely strongly recommended learning Gita and learning Vishnu Sahasranam. Other 3 Ratnas, I do not know offhand, but they must be related to Bhagavad, maybe, or Ramayana, maybe.
Okay.
So 2 Ratnas are definitely there. But Adi Shankaracharya said that the one who has read, one who has understood, one who has studied Gita and Vishnu Sahasranam, he does not have any reason to open the 3rd book of Adhyatma. These 2 are more than enough.
Today
Vishnu
morning I heard that there are 5 Ratnas. So that is our Pujyasri has told that in Vishnu Sahasranama opening prayer. He told that 5 Ratnas are there, but I don't know that 3 Ratnas. That is the reason I requested you.
Vishnu Sahasranam, Yudhishthira had asked some questions. Ko dharma sarva dharmanam dharmo devikutamavataha. Kinjapan namichite jantur dharma samsara bandhana. So he had asked some questions in Vishnu Sahasranam. Which dharma is the best? Who is the God who takes away all the worries of human beings? So these are the questions which Yudhishthira had asked to Pitama Bhishma. There is no mention of 5 Ratnas in Vishnu Sahasranam as such. Neither Yudhishthira had in Vishnu Sahasranam, nor did Pitama Bhishma replied in Vishnu Sahasranam about any such 5 Ratnas.
Okay, Guruji.
Okay. Any other questions, please?
I don't think so. We have any more questions now.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you so much, Vikas Bhayaji, for this blissful session and for patiently responding to all the questions asked.
Thank you.
And we
Yes,
all would try to implement the things you told us today, especially the 3 gatekeeper principle, which is very efficient. We would all like to apply it. And now, on behalf of Geeta Pariwar, I take this opportunity to thank each and everyone for attentively attending this session and for being involved. Now, to offer our prayers in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, I would like to call upon Sri Ruchi Didi. Didi is in Qatar and has joined Geeta Pariwar in July 2024 and is currently giving seva as technical assistant and as a CT in level 1. Didi, please proceed with the prayer.
जी दीदी योगेशं सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णो वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णो वन्दे जगद्गुरुं ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
Thank you so much, Didi, for the beautiful prayer. Thank you so much, Vikas Bhayaji. We are very grateful for your kind guidance. I thank all our beloved and determined Geeta sadhaks, and I express my sincere thanks to our technical and back-end team for the relentless efforts to make this session a great success. Now, we will complete our session with the chanting of Hanuman Chalisa. Jai Shri Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरन रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरई हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर गोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।